Hey, everybody, it's Dave here. We have Jonas way over there on the far end. Flip Mazzi, you can see his background. He's in the living room watching this heart attack game. And this is one that makes you all drink. At least does me.
Every game's a heart attack.
I know.
Every game.
It's just driving
I've
us
had
crazy.
400 heart attacks. All on Sunday. Fucking ridiculous.
Did the guy just use a French flag for the fans, for the defense fans?
Yeah. Yeah, like the Maginot Line. Mm-hmm. Billy, we're asking that question ourselves. Where is the defense? All right, I'm going to get this sucker going with the roll in real quick. Everybody hold their breath. We're inside 2 minutes. Win or lose. Join us on Climbing the Pockets, the final score. Everybody, we're back. Well, we're getting ready to start the last 2 minutes, hopefully, of a winning game.
There was a strip sack.
Okay, good.
The Bears still have it.
Yeah, damn it. As you can see, Jonas, all the way from Germany, has a faster feed on this game than we do. Flip and I are streaming off of Sunday Ticket, and we are behind. But that's no problem. We appreciate that.
Got to be
Jonas.
Me. And after the sack, they almost got him again, and then Fields dumped it off to wide open David Montgomery, who got a first down. You've got to be kidding.
Well, you gotta tell us.
This is something.
Down
to the ball! Vikings ball! Let's go! No!
And then Dantzler just stripped the ball out of Emil Smith-Marsette's hand and just took it away. It's a fumble, and it's a direct recovery because Dantzler just ripped it out of Smith-Marsette's hands. What is happening?
Hey, right all. Welcome to the show. Yes, this is exhausting. You got that right. All right. And now we get to watch it. Boom. There it goes. Dantzler strip. Got it. Yes. Yes.
Oh, my God. Make a tackle.
Vikings gonna win. Gonna win. Gonna win. And you get Flip's delayed reaction.
Hold me closer, Tiny Dantzler. Let's go. The needle, whip that ball! ISM, you ain't on my team anymore! Let's go! Eat that W, boys!
Yeah. As everybody gets Flip Mazzi, the great Flip Mazzi's reaction to Dantzler stripping that ball from Emil Smith-Marsette, which should seal this game for the Vikings. How many timeouts do the Bears have? Still shouldn't
Just
matter.
one.
They just got one. This is victory formation, baby.
It's the victory.
Yeah. They just used it out.
W. 4-1.
double zeros right now for me. So game
NFC
is over.
North, baby.
And
Let's go.
yes. Where in the world is Tanishka? We
She's
are
like
waiting.
that Vikings defense. She's asleep.
Dan, what do you mean by one, David? Oh, one timeout. I appreciate that, buddy. Appreciate it. Victory formation. This is going to work. The Vikings win. Vikings win. Vikings win. They are 4-1 and 2 games up on every team in the division. How about that?
You know, it's hard. It's hard doing a post-game show. I think during the game, I know I'm going to do the show. I take notes. The third quarter comes along. I get really upset. And now, whether it's a double doink or a strip to win the game, just how do you even talk about all the good things and the bad things that happen in this football game? The highest of highs, the lowest of lows. It's a roller coaster every Sunday.
Which is...
How are we 4-1? Rydell's got it. How are we 4-1?
I mean, after the Bears came back in this game, we knew that the only way the Vikings would win would be an extremely funny way. And that it's Emir Smith-Marset who lost the football, who got poached by the Bears from the Vikings. Like, you just can't make this stuff up. You just can't.
We got Mateo, we got Dan, we got G-Mac, Mary Fisk. Y'all, it's a W. Vikings win 29-22. So we got to start with highlights. Dave, what is your highlight from the Week 5 win over the Bears?
The first half. Kirk Cousins was 17 for 17. Justin Jefferson was 130 some odd yards. And that's got to be it. The first half.
That's it. That's all you got to say. Easy. Jonas, what about you?
I mean, after that, it was...
I mean, this first half was probably the best we have seen Kirk Cousins play, like, in, I don't know how many years in his career, maybe. It was just perfect. It was so sharp. It wasn't always difficult, but it was just so sharp. He didn't make any mistakes. And then you have that second half and everything just goes off the rails, and it, like, you cannot explain this stuff. But I think you really saw why the Bears shouldn't be 2-2 and why they were 2-2. Like, both of these things in the same game, because they played a lot of bad teams so far, and
so have we.
They've got
so have we.
same. But you saw what happens if they face something competent. You just saw what happens in the first half, and then you also saw what happened over the last few weeks, because they have a good mentality going on right now under Matt Eberflus. You have to give him that, but it's just not a good football team.
I don't disagree. But the Bears, they showed fight.
So the highlight for me is, I'm doing players. I'm not doing first half. The highlight is Justin Jefferson. It's easy. It was mostly in the first half, but for him to have what I think was 11 catches, 140 yards.
12. You're talking in the first half.
Yes.
I think he was at 134 by the first half.
For him to simply be the offense was amazing to see. It really does work when you're playing against the inferior teams. You don't need to jazz it up. You can literally just throw him the ball. And Kirk Cousins, 17 for 17, was built on top of that. Now, I'm not taking credit away from Kirk Cousins. That was the best half of football I've ever seen him played. Kevin O'Connell came out with a great game script, great play calling, great game plan to have it up-tempo, no huddle early in that game. All very good things that led to the success of that offense. Justin Jefferson being at the center was amazing. That's my highlight. That's the only big thing that I'm going to take into this week is how great Justin Jefferson is, because the rest of it is confusing as hell.
Well, he ended up with 12 catches for 154 yards. No touchdowns because that one was called short, but I'll take that sort of day any day of the week. He had a great day today. Absolutely.
Yeah. So is Tanishka coming or not?
She's trying. Her internet crashed. She's trying to get
the Wi-Fi. Let's do lowlights. Jonas, what's your low light?
I mean, after saying the first half was the highlight, you could choose the boring answer to just say the second half was the low light. But I'm going to say, I'm not saying it's the defense, it was the special teams, because I think a lot of the stuff that happened on defense wasn't new in this season. But being so bad on special teams like they were today, that was surprising, because they were very good on special teams so far this season, and today it was just all around bad. They had bad returns in the first half, even on the first play, where Nwangu was stopped at like the 12 or 13 yard line. They had that botched punt. They had a blocked kick. Like, you just cannot make that many mistakes on special teams. You just can't do that. And I think as much as we are rightfully criticizing the defense right now, we have to use that same energy for the special teams, because in my opinion, they were like the most important part that brought the Bears back into this game. Without this special teams performance, this is not getting close.
I can buy off on that. That's nice logic and sound.
So that's your vote, Dave, the special teams?
Well, the defense's inability to stop anybody, that irritates me to no end. And that we got to figure out something on the defense. They've got to get more pressure. They did get, Danielle Hunter got a sack today, but we've got to do something that back end, the coverage guys, and seeing Sullivan get beat like 3 or 4 times today, I got sick of it. The defense needs to figure out what it's going to do, period. Or we're not going to make it through the good teams.
Well, they're not. They just look unathletic right now. And there's no contain on Justin Fields. There's no ability to stay with these receivers. When we blitz, the blitz doesn't hit, and it just leaves the back end outmanned and outmatched. It's an easy pitch and catch every time we blitz. I don't think there's a solution to it. I just think that if you're going to go through a season where your first round draft pick is out for the year, your second round draft pick inactive once again, and who knows if those guys can actually even play. We haven't even seen that. So it's going to be bad. It's going to be like this all year. They're going to go against better teams. You think Justin Fields had a day scrambling? We've still got Josh Allen on the schedule. We've still got Cooper. I was about to say Cooper Rush on the schedule.
We very well may.
I'm just saying, like, Dak Prescott or Cooper Rush, there is no solution for this defense, and that's the biggest problem with this team. Not able to generate pressure with 4, not able to cover and match athleticism on the outside, not able to just do fundamental tackling and fundamental contain. So many issues are just going to result in a 2022 season where we just have to outscore these teams. The offense did it today in the first half. I'm not going to lie, that second half just pissed me off because the offense has to keep that up, and I saw them take the foot off the gas.
Raymond, that's why Jonas picked the special teams as his low light of today. They had their worst game of the season. Part of that's leaving 9 points off the board.
Yeah.
We could have easily used that. That's Hey, but they won. They came back. Kirk Cousins got another fourth quarter comeback under his belt. The Vikings went down and scored thanks to a penalty. Good penalty. I like that. I'll take them any day of the week. And the Vikings hold on. That strip by Tiny Dantzler of Amir Smith-Marset, they held on. We now are 4-1 and 2 games up on every team in this division at least.
That's big time. 3-0 in the NFC
huge.
North. When's the last time the Vikings have started 3-0 in the NFC North? That's something our stat guy, I'm not sure if we have a stat guy yet, but Dave is working on getting us a stat guy for this show.
We need one. Didn't Zimmer sweep the division one year?
Oh, I think he did. That's right. We probably went 9-7 with a division sweep. 2014, Bonnie Jean says it's been a while, so you have to enjoy this. 4-1. We're the second or third best team record-wise in the NFC. We're leading the NFC North, and we've got a game against Teddy Bridgewater next week. I want to know. Maybe. I want to know questions. If Dave or Jonas or me, I have questions for the fans. If the fans have questions, let's just do a whole little Q&A about this game right now.
Is this sustainable?
Just no.
No.
The thing is, normally, if you're in one-score games, you usually tend to be 500 in those games. And the Vikings are 3-0, and that's not gonna. They won't be able to keep that up. They have to put opponents away. They can't go through all those one-score games. You just can't keep that up.
Yeah, I think for me, football is a game of matchups. So I have to, when you ask is it sustainable, I have to look at who is left on the schedule, or let's just say the next 3 games. So can we perform the same way we have over the next 3 games? I think they might be able to. The Dolphins, it's a road game, and I don't think we have anybody who can match up with those wide receivers, so that's going to be an issue. But
we don't know who's going to play quarterback. Because
we don't know who's going to play quarterback.
Tua's out, and will probably still be out. Teddy went out today with a concussion, so we don't know if he's going to be available.
So that seems sustainable. The Cardinals, we'll see how they look today. I think they're playing the Eagles today. So, if Kyler Murray is able to continue to scramble and keep plays alive, that's something the Vikings defense struggles with.
See you.
And then we have at the Commanders. So if you're asking me, can the Vikings go 2-1 over the next 3 games? We'll be sitting here 6-2. I can't say no to that. It's really just about why are we looking at win-loss record versus we need to start just crushing some of these teams, because we should crush the Commanders, we should crush the Cardinals, and we should crush the Miami Dolphins if this team is serious, because that team might not have its starting or its backup quarterback. Mm-hmm. So So sustainability is a different question than is this team a contender? That's kind of the key issue that I think all Vikings fans are struggling with right now.
Mary says hats off to Cousins. He did not completely, I added the word completely, fold. That is correct.
Okay.
That is good. There was a good question that we missed up here. I want to come back to it.
Is it about our tight ends?
Yeah, Aiden asks, why do our tight ends blow?
You know, I was really happy with the game today and the tight end usage today because they're like, okay, y'all are blockers. You guys block. Irv Smith had a key block on a touchdown. Johnny Munt had a key combo block on a touchdown. Those are the things that I'm looking for from our tight ends. I'm not looking for them to contribute as receivers right now because it's not that they blow. It's just that our other options, Dalvin Cook, Alex Madison, Adam Thielen, KJ Osborne, they're just better than our tight ends right now when it comes to the pass game.
Mm-hmm. Alejandro says Irv had a good game. Irv Smith logged 4 catches for 42 yards.
That's like he got a couple first downs.
Mm-hmm.
I need to see more from Irv. Continue. Another question, Jonas, this one's for you. Defensive coach, coming from Mary. Is he responsible for how the defense is playing, or is this an issue with the talent on the field?
I think it's kind of both. I think one thing that Kevin O'Connell does way better than Ed Donatel right now is adjusting to the players he has. It's always a challenge if you come in as a new coaching staff with a team that was mostly assembled by the old regime, because this team is assembled for that system. And I think O'Connell did adopt a lot of stuff that they did previously, which I think was a bit easier for him because those schemes were related to each other. So you can just take some stuff and it works in that offense. For Donatel, it's a completely different system, and you have to have completely different players to play this system well. And right now, I think Donatel is a bit too hell-bent on playing his stuff and his concepts, which can work if he has the right personnel for it. But right now, he still has mostly Mike Zimmer personnel, so you can't just come in and do completely different stuff and expect this to work, because right now I think a lot of players are not in the position to be as successful as they can be. There are some players who are a little bit better suited for this defense. I think one example is DJ Warnum, but otherwise most of the starters especially are better suited for the type of defense Mike Zimmer was playing. And right now you have Harrison Smith a lot of deep. You have him deep a lot of the time, and you rarely see him around the box, which is one of his biggest strengths. You see Daniel Hunter a lot in coverage, especially on third downs. You just can't have Daniel Hunter in coverage on third and long. You have to use him as a pass rusher because that's where he's the best. And I think this is what Donatel needs to figure out, how to do kind of his stuff, but put his players, which aren't perfect for his system, in a position that at least somehow suits them. And I think that's the biggest issue for the defense right now. It's also that the talent on this defense is aging. You just can't see that. Harrison has lost a little bit of step. Kendricks definitely lost a step. You can't see that, and that's normal. And it's definitely not the most talented defense you have, but I think this defense and the talent on this defense can play better if you put them in positions that suit them. And I think right now Donatel has not figured that out.
Okay, I've got a question for
Yeah.
everybody. Are we
Well-
seeing improvement game to game? Have we improved in each of these games from game 1
Well-
to game 5?
Well, I think on the defensive side of the ball, I actually disagree with you, Jonas. I do think it's a little bit of both, like you said, but Donatel playing with a scheme without his guys, that's just a lame excuse. That's terrible. Because number one, they didn't have to bring back Daniil Hunter. They didn't have to bring back Patrick Peterson. And you can argue that, sure, they tried to draft some players on the back end, and because those players are not ready to go, sure, there's going to be some issues in the secondary. But they brought in Jordan Hicks. They brought in Harrison Phillips, and our rush defense still sucks. They brought in Zadarius Smith, and our pass rush still sucks. So if they're going in and they're bringing in new players who don't fit Ed Donatel's scheme, that's a big problem for me. And then number two, on the other side, you got these players, Donatel. For you to just run your scheme and then just wait until 2023 until you have better players who fit your scheme, that's bullshit. I mean, if Daniil Hunter isn't working out as an outside linebacker, find more ways to line him up in the 3-point stance. If Eric Kendricks is being asked to do what he hasn't been doing over the last 7 years, why don't we just have Eric Kendricks do what he's been doing over the last 7 years? Because he's been very effective doing that. So the player versus scheme fit is an easy thing for me. The scheme needs to change to fit these players. And no, they
That is
haven't.
basically what I was saying.
Yep.
That was basically what I was saying.
But that's not an excuse for Donatel.
I didn't say it was an excuse.
And they didn't have to sign those players. They didn't have. Why would you sign Zadarius Smith just to get 3 pressures a game from who's a person who's supposed to be an elite pass rusher? Why would you bring Daniil Hunter back if you're gonna put him in a situation where he's not set up to succeed? That's a huge issue with the defense.
That he wants them to adapt to his system versus he adapt to their strengths.
Yes, yeah, 100%. And like I said, I don't see it getting better because, Dave, to your question, it hasn't gotten better over the last 5 weeks. It was great in week 1. It was great the first half today, but it was like, let's be honest, the Bears were dropping passes. They weren't seeing open receivers. It's just a huge mess on that side of the ball. It's going to take both new talent, and it might take a new coordinator as well.
Interesting. Well, I do say the offense has improved points-wise. They scored 23 in their first one, 7 in the second one.
Against who,
28, though? 23 against Green Bay, 7 against Philly, 28 against Detroit, 28 against New Orleans, and 29 today against Chicago.
So that's improvement.
Theoretically, you're scoring more points.
Literally. The Seahawks have put up 32 against New Orleans today.
I know. It's got up there. Mm-hmm. And New Orleans put up, 39? So.
Yeah. So maybe our defense is better than I think it is. Maybe I need to go easier. But it's just like we know that the other shoe is going to drop.
That's funny, G-Mac. You know it will never, ever, ever happen.
Oh, why not? Zim would coach this defense up.
Oh, I guarantee he would. But there's no way the organization's going to bring him back.
But even like a Zimmer disciple, because, wow, this Ed Donatel guy, man, I'm telling you, if D'Amico Ryans wasn't already a defensive coordinator, that's the type of – you can't name 3 players on that San Francisco defense, and they still play lights out every weekend. So at Miami next weekend, what are the early predictions? Maybe not necessarily win or loss or score, but what do you think is going to happen in that game? What can we count on from the Vikings?
What do you think, Jonas?
Oh, first of all, I think Teddy Bridgewater will be the quarterback because I think I read that he basically cleared the concussion protocol and just wasn't able to return because of that new rule that was set up. And so I think he's gonna be back, but yeah, I think we're gonna have our hands full with this receiving core because like there's nobody who can match that, and especially the speed is gonna be a huge problem for our defense. I'm curious to see if the Dolphins do a lot of underneath stuff because that's usually what hurt the Vikings the most, and that's also what Teddy Bridgewater is best at. And you have Donatel playing this quarters defense, so going deep is probably not going to work that well. So I'm curious to see how the Dolphins are going to use Hill and Waddle because I think you can do a lot of damage if you just run a lot of quick outs and mesh concepts and that stuff. If you do that with those fast receivers, we're gonna see a lot of yards after catch, and I think it's gonna be very hard for the Vikings. And even with Bridgewater at quarterback, I'm not sure if I would pick the Vikings as favorites in this game. I don't know.
Ooh, good question.
Whew. Dave?
I I hope our offense can score more points. That's what I gotta wish for, and then our defense holds. But I agree with Jonas. We're going against a fast bunch of receivers, and they could be taken advantage of. So we'll see. But it means at least we enter our bye at 4-2. And if you would have started at the beginning of the season and said, "Hey, would you take 4-2 at the bye?" Everybody would say yes, absolutely. Freddie says Miami's favored by 2. Okay, so on a neutral field, it's relatively even. Vikings
4-2 is only acceptable if Tua plays. We got to start asking more of this team. They're 4-1.
We gotta start winning championships.
Yeah, I mean, 4-2 is unacceptable if Tua doesn't play.
We all remember in 2016 when they started 6-0 and then didn't make the playoffs.
And why are we treating the Dolphins like they're the Kansas City Chiefs? You know, we gotta,
because they've been playing a lot better.
Well, we've been playing better too if you look at our win-loss record. So,
well, the Dolphins are 3-2.
The things that the Vikings need to clean up are not difficult things, and as these things linger from week to week, that ultimately is the problem with this team. Like, we know the defense has been bad. They continue to struggle. We know the offense has to be the team that leads this team that wins, and they're allergic to 30 points. Just allergic. Whenever they get to 28, 29, they just stop. They're like, no, we can't. And that has to stop. So to win against the Dolphins is to see this team improve. And we expect the team to improve because this is all just bullshit reasons we're talking about. This game was close for bullshit reasons. The London game was close for bullshit reasons. So stop with the bullshit, Minnesota, and play a complete game.
Yes, Steve, we've had some luck on our side. You can't knock that.
We had some refs on our side too.
Yeah, over the last few games. But that's what we're saying. We want the Vikings to play better, play to their potential. If Kirk Cousins can take it today and take the first 3 drives and boom, 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 why can't we keep that up the rest of the game? Right? If the defense can get a 3 and out, which it did today, why can't it do that the rest of the game? Those are things that we want to see come to fruition. No, there's a whole lot of people
I don't even think it's that, Dave. I think it's like tackle them when you're up by 3 scores. Tackle them. I think it's make your field goals when you're up by 3 scores. That's all we're asking. I'm not making a big ask here. It's so easy. This team is so fucking frustrating. But we got the win, so I'm gonna go easy on them. Got the win.
Anyways, we want to appreciate everybody that's joined us today. I do want to get you guys out of here so you have chances to join other post-game shows that I know are going on from friends of ours. And we appreciate you hopping on now. Brady says the Vikings always seem to struggle, but making adjustments and opponents making adjustments. Yes. And Steven, I don't know if we've been playing better. It's relatively mistake-free so far, penalties, but it's been ugly play. It has, but we're still winning, and part of that's luck. And so you can't. People tell us that we're a little bit hard on the team, right? They're winning. It's all about winning. Well, that's going to bite some people in the butt when they stop winning because the team isn't adequate enough to do that. We want them to be adequate enough. That's what we're demanding, that they get good enough to win championships. And do you think this team today could be able to do that? No. Hopefully, by the time we get to that point in the season, it's yes. The answer is yes. But we got a long way to go, folks. Rejoice in the fact we are 4-1. We are 2 games up in our division. That is a very, very good thing. It's a great start to Kevin O'Connell's tenure as head coach, and we hope it continues. Any last words, Jonas? And I want to thank you for staying up and watching this with us all the way from Germany.
I just want a game which I can watch halfway relaxed because the last few weeks just have been
not gonna happen.
Yeah, I know, but I was really close to thinking it would happen today because it was just so good early on. But well, it's the Vikings, and we're gonna see it just the same way next week.
Flip, any last words?
It certainly looks like a competitive rebuild, and I will give the Vikings credit for that.
Yes.
I think the biggest disappointment today was that Andrew Booth didn't play. He was inactive again. This is an opportunity for him to get some real experience against a not so great offense. And sure, we definitely want him to play next week, but that's going to be trial by fire. So that was a little concerning for me looking ahead. Ultimately, I do like the experience this team is getting in close games and pulling out close games. Mm-hmm. Tons to improve, but hopefully later on in the season, if they're down by 3 points, they won't blink. If they're down by 6 points, they won't blink. So I'm optimistic from the standpoint that every game is going to be close. That's good against the good teams, and that's tough against the bad teams. But they find a way to win. So Skol Vikes.
What do we say, guys?
Till next time. Skol, baby.
Skol Vikings! Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and ring the bell, and rate us on your favorite aggregator. And a special shout out goes to our partners, the Daily Norseman, where the best Vikings content can be found, and to Lake Monster Brewing, home of the best beer in Minnesota. This has been a Climbing the Pocket and SB Nation's Daily Norseman broadcast. Skål, everybody.